look at how many candle bodies are under here, and this is on the weekly time frame. What is up, guys? Norse Digital Assets coming at you with another video. I've got a really good video lined up for you with some macro views on some things. We're going to cover Bitcoin really quick since it's the leader of the market. Then we're going to cover some CKB, and then we're going to cover CASPER, which you're going to want to see because that's a coin that you're definitely going to want to get. If you don't have any, you're going to want to get a good chunk of CASPER. So let's dive right into this. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple here. Again, I have the 200-week heat map pulled up. We are still, right now, this 200 line, we are still dark blue. Not only that, if you look, guys, if you look at the history of this heat map, there is no other time that I'm seeing here where, so even here, those aren't candle bodies under the 200 line. These aren't candle bodies, a bunch of candle bodies on the line. These aren't a bunch of candle bodies under the line. But what do we have currently right now? If you actually come in here, and I'll zoom in, I'll show you here where my cursor is. There's a couple candle bodies right on the line and a couple long wicks. That's it, just like these other times here. But if we actually look at what's going on right now, it could be argued, look at how many candle bodies are under here, and this is on the weekly time frame, so this here is like 10, 12 weeks under the line. It could be argued that actually this right here, even though it doesn't feel like it, the market's been in a bearish cycle. It just depends how far you zoom out, if it's a bear market or not. It just depends what time frame you're looking at and how much you're zooming out. If you're looking more shorter term, then yeah, it's been a bear market since like November 2021, sure. But when you actually zoom out, it's not. And we're still looking at this being a wave 4, and we're still looking at this at being a bottom of wave 4. But I'll say this, it could be argued, even though it doesn't feel like it and the market feels like shit, it can be argued that this is actually still, over these weeks, during this consolidation period, building a base, distribution, accumulation, whatever you want to call it, building this base, it could be argued this is one of the best opportunities over this entire time to accumulate, to hold, to get ready for the next run. We have all these candle bodies below that line. And what do we see any other time when we're on this line or around this line? It is acted as a giant spring. You hit the line, acts as a spring. Hit the line, acts as a giant spring. We're below it right now with a bunch of candle bodies. So that's what I have to say for Bitcoin. And also, I'll show one other thing here. Let me click here. So the stock RSI, and we go to the monthly, okay, this is important too. If we go to the stock RSI on the monthly and we look at where the momentum has been in the market, obviously the momentum's been down for a long time, but what happens? This is 2014, 2015, and then you get those crazy runs and you stay up here for months and or years, okay? Same thing here. This is 2017, no, this is 2018 through 2019. No momentum, down, flat. Where does it finally go? And what do we have right now? I don't know when it's going to happen macro-wise. I'm not trying to predict the market exactly. This is more of a macro video. But where are we? We are down here. And eventually this thing's going to flatten out and start to lift up. And that's when it's going to get crazy. And eventually it's coming. Crypto's not going anywhere. And if we go, you see this circle. And this is the monthly is momentum stock RSI. But if we go to the DXY, where's the DXY? The DXY is in the exact opposite point in time. You're up here. And how long can it really stick up here? Look at this. Every time. It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter. You can go back to like the 1970s. My point is eventually you've spent enough time up here, you're going to start heading back down. And when this heads down, since this is the monthly, just to get back down to the bottom, you're talking months or years, especially if it comes down and does a little like zigzag thing. It can be months or years. Okay, so my point is eventually this thing, everything's going to break back the other way, and there is going to be a macro run on crypto, and it's going to be great. Now, let's take a look at CKB. That was kind of a macro view there. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the daily. Let's click here. Let's reset the chart. To me, it's pretty obvious what's going on with CKB. Everything is about resistance and support. And if I drop a line in here of where we have seen, let's get the line dropped in here, of where we have seen resistance around 0052. 0052. Okay, what I'm seeing here is obviously a cup shape and then possibly a handle shape. that's coming through here, which is, it looks like an ascending triangle, but yes, a cup and handle. And basically what it would be is, what you would need to do is when Bitcoin gets running, the market gets running. Right now, 0052, or give or take, right in that range is the resistance. So you need to come back up, find it a support, actually find some support, which obviously we haven't done. It's just rejection, rejection. You get this bull cross right here on the daily where green comes over the red, and it was just a fake out, and it just falls back down with the rest of the market. But you'd have to actually come above that 0052, find some support, and then you can lift off. And the target of that is actually pretty interesting, because if we just measure the depth of this cup here and we just stretch this out, it's pretty interesting, because where it sends you is right about to this target mark right here at around 009, right below a cent. It is like the last days when it was falling of anything that could hold here before it fell through. So up into that range, 009, 1 cent. So that would be, it's not what I want to do. So that would be beautiful. That's kind of what we want to see, but it's going to take some time. But I will point this out as well. You have these massive wicks that we saw the other day. This wick, and this is on KuCoin, this wick shot up to 0058. Typically when you see these massive wicks, like they can be called ghost wicks or whatever, but you're going to get solid candle bodies. I mean, it can take time. I can't tell you when, weeks, months, I can't tell you when, but it's typically a sign that not too far away, you're going to get candle bodies that come up, and you're actually getting full candle bodies closing at the top of that wick. It's going to come up to that ghost wick. It did it for a reason, okay? So that's what I'm seeing with CKB. It's just another waiting game. Anyways, if you saw looking at the first part of the video with Bitcoin and the macro picture, still an amazing time to DCA, to buy in, to continue to hold, to look for the next massive run that's going to be coming. The momentum is going to reverse and crypto will be back. So we have that going on. Also, personally for me, like if you have, if somehow, you know, you have $20,000, $30,000, I have no problem currently right now spending thousands of dollars. For example, like out of $30,000, no problem spending $7,000, $8,000 on these different coins, on CKB, on CASPER, which we're about to cover, on Cardano, on API3. And sure, if Bitcoin goes lower to this 14,000, 16,000, then buy even more. But I don't know that that's going to happen. That's not necessarily has to happen. We've had capitulation events, and I've said that. We're going to cover CASPER in just a second. You're going to want to get this coin. I really do believe. Again, with Bitcoin, we have covered this WXY double 3 pattern that I've drawn out, which is still holding just fine. Where it is a massive, since March 2021, in that range, a massive correction, which is a WXY pattern, double 3 corrective pattern, and that the bottom definitely could have been June 18th at that 17.5, and now we're kind of doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little Elliott wave, and then like an ABC. And then we can climb out of that. That's definitely possible. I don't know if that's going to happen, but like I said, I'm very comfortable accumulating in these ranges. I like these ranges. I think they're awesome. Let's cover CASPER really quick. So CASPER, what the most amazing thing about CASPER is, let's put CASPER on the 3-day just to get kind of a picture of the entire history of CASPER. So why is CASPER, number one, why is CASPER such an amazing buy? Well, it's a sleeping, it's a layer 1. It's a sleeping layer 1 that no one pays attention to with some original Ethereum developers. We're going to cover more on that in a second. But if we're just looking at the price chart here, like this is the kind of price chart you want to buy. This ghost wick is pretty crazy, up to $65, $66 on Wobi here. That's pretty crazy. But I will say this, it's a layer 1 that people aren't paying attention to, that's in the building phase. So it's just like Solana or Phantom, and I've watched Kevin Cage's videos on this, but it's just like those projects where they do nothing for a long time until the ecosystem starts to get built, then it gets some attention, then it goes on to major exchanges. And right now, CASPER's not on major exchanges. You can get it on KuCoin, you can get it on Uphold, but it's going to be coming on to major exchanges like Gemini, like some of these other large exchanges, eventually stuff like Coinbase. I would say with time for sure. But my point is here is, is look at this pattern that you have here, and it's something to buy. You're buying near all-time lows. All-time lows. You're not buying in a Solana or Phantom or something that already did a 1,000x, a 3,000x, a 20,000x, some of these other projects. You're buying an absolute low. And when Casper came out, Casper's never had a bull run yet. It's 3 cents, okay? So it's pretty crazy. It's been up here in the dollar ranges. But Casper, again, you're buying at an absolute low, a layer 1 that's building all kinds of things. Some stuff about Casper, you've got 80 full-time employees with Casper. You have all types of utility with Casper. You have you have use cases like identity, NFTs, notarization, patent records. There's the bio and medical use cases that they talk about. There's all kinds of videos from their 80 full-time employees, especially some of the people higher up in the company. Supply chain tracking, decentralized finance. Also, I was just watching the video about that it's the only blockchain that has upgradable smart contracts, okay? So there's just a lot going on with it. I have a great feeling about Casper. I've talked about Casper for a while now. And in many ways, Casper is technologically far superior than Ethereum. It just is. So it's there's a lot going for Casper. I think you should grab some Casper. I don't want to be I told you so in the future. But anyways, the point is the downside is very limited. Even if the market tanks a little more, fine, it goes down a little. But the upside, I believe, is astronomical for Casper. That's just my opinion. Do what you want, not financial advice. Around 70% of all Casper is locked and staked, securing the network. There's a solid team behind Casper. They're actually building something. So that's my thought on it, and I wanted to share that with you guys and drive the point home that I'm mega bullish on Casper. I'm also very bullish on VeChain. I'm bullish on CKB. Curve's going to go crazy later. API 3 is also going to go crazy, and I wish I sold it when it was like 10 bucks. But I had it locked and staked, and that was months ago. I wish I could have got it out, but I'm not locking and staking API 3 anymore for that reason, but I could have made a lot of money on it, and I couldn't get it out of the stake lock. But it's no longer staked. That's all good, though. But B Pro, I think I'm somewhat... I'm pretty bullish on that. And you know the other things, I'm bullish on XRP, my #1 holding. Still bullish on, obviously, on Cardano for its uses, XRP for its money transferring capabilities, and cross-border payments. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, guys. Not a lot's changed. I haven't put out many videos lately, but not a lot's changed, and that's still where I'm at. And I'm just gonna keep sitting, holding, and waiting, and that's what it is until the momentum will start to reverse in the market, and maybe we can get this melt up going. My original drawing is still fine. There's nothing that's... It's taken longer than I thought, for sure, to do anything and start getting moving, for sure. But I will say there's nothing that even comes close to like invalidating the drawing right now. You found possibly the bottom on 4. It didn't really come that close to 1. It was still thousands and thousands of dollars above 1. Definitely not lower than it. Could have been a WXY33. Still waiting on what's going to happen next, but it still could be this accumulation distribution phase. You got to remember some of this stuff, some of those sayings are very true, like the longer the base, the higher in space, stuff like that. Casper's building a pretty impressive base. Never been in a bull run. Layer, it's its own blockchain, guys. That's the layer 1 part, that it's its own blockchain, okay? It's not built on top of Ethereum or built on top of any of these others. It's its own blockchain, and it's still not a lot of people have paid attention to it besides some of the Kevin Cage videos I've seen. So anyways, I'm mega bullish on it, and I want to get more. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hope you liked it. Leave a comment below. Click the like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. We're going to keep covering stuff with time. And we'll see you in the next video. See ya.